Welcome to Boughton. Interesting venue for the second round of the BRCA 1/10 Offroad Nationals, and it's because, there's James Halliwell, it's because nobody comes here apart from the national event, so it's sort of very, very fair for everybody. And what I can tell you about the paint marking is that this track is going one way, which is this way for two-wheel drive, and it's going up this way for four-wheel drive. So we're going to need two track walks. This is the two-wheel drive one, and I can tell you the cars are going to come down here. This initial first corner. Plenty of transitions. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 AstroTurf transitions between the line there, the entry, and this roller. So bump, 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 like a concrete road in America on the motorways. Lots of bumps. Better, easier to see it from this angle. You can see the shadows. And then we're into a little roller. And again, 1, 2, 3 transitions, 4 transitions here before we get to this roller. So it's bump, 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 bump. Have a roller into tight left-hander. What's after that? Yeah, we've got after this left-hander, we've pretty much got a straight line, sort of, with a bump, 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 bump. Okay, all those transitions once again, but this time we're running at 45 degrees to them, so maybe not so bad. Then one of the furthest points away from the rostrum. This used to be a tabletop, if memory serves. Now it's flattened out and it's long right-hander into a long left-hand chicane, but deep grooves in here on the line. There is a height difference there in those grooves of maybe an inch, inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches higher here just on the outside. So car's going to sort of tram line in there, I suspect. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be cars putting wheels up on hoses when they're not expecting it. And through. Now, you can have a bit of power here. Don't think there's going to be any issue. How you hit the second bit of this is what's going to be important. So very gradually up and down. Don't really see the cars getting thrown into the air that much. Most people will be landing just down here, where I think the AstroTurf is sort of like a double layer. It's quite soft. And then trying to get the timing so that you can take off on the first bit of this ramp and land into the second one is key. So a bit to that. Then probably a 30-degree incline up high on this high point. And look, this is tricky. Getting down on this off-camber surface and getting turned in for this hairpin is tricky because the suspension is sort of compressed on one side of the car as you've come up on the off-camber, so you don't get as much weight transfer into the hairpin, so it feels like the car understeers. So just have to use a bit of intelligence, stay up high and late, and then expect less steering and have it so that perhaps you're just apexing slightly before the hose to have a nice straight line then down. With this AstroTurf transition, couldn't be at a worse place, just right on the turn in. So again, we're going to have people hitting this hose all weekend long because the transition is right before it and people won't be doing the track walk, because a lot of people who are here don't watch the track walk until Monday. Well, how would they have time? How could they possibly watch it? So we've come from left hand into right hand and then it opens up. Not too worried about this transition here. This is okay. And we power down to the first of a series of hairpins. a large slalom, if you like, a large chicane. We're going to go around this one and power on again. Now we've gone to one that's slightly larger. A few bumps, nothing huge to worry about. We do have a transition here, which is going to cause problems, but it's going to be okay. And then left hand before we have a roller. And then nice entry. There is a bump here. If you look at my shadow, the bump is just where my finger is there, which is going to probably unsettle people on their line. Not sure how that's going to work out before they turn around to the right and come onto the straight again. Okay, it's very loose here. It is bumpy. There's a lot of transitions just where you don't want them. But I think it's all good. I think it's all good. If I was to say anything, I would say it's the off-road nature of this is the bumps rather than the jumps. And in modern times, I think we've had it that tracks have become quite smooth between the jumps. So it's hard to know what the right course is, but I'd like to be racing here, put it that way. I think it's real off-road. It's tricky. There's a lot of transitions, a lot of bumps. There is wonderful weather forecast for today, windier tomorrow. But it's great to see a big turnout. Look who's here. Look. RacewayOne. There's our banner right beside SCMCS, one of our sponsors. Speaking of our sponsors, big thanks to Schumacher, to Speedworks, Model Tune, Rude Bits, FF Racing, SCMCS, and RC Disco. Huge thanks to them. They really help us out. Looks like we got a birthday too. There's a banner going up. That's the Thames camp. So one of them is a year older. And as always, we couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for our supporters on YouTube. So please hit like and subscribe if this is your sort of thing. And if maybe this video isn't your thing, maybe you'll think of hitting it next time when we see something a bit more interesting. We will have A finals for you. I'm going to try and get some driver interviews for you. If we can commandeer Tony of Doka to come and help us out with that, we will. Try and get you some undercover shots as well. And before you ask, won't be any undercover shots of that new Schumacher four-wheel drive. A bit like the old Grolsch commercial, it's just not ready yet. So when it's ready, I'm sure we will we'll be given access all areas, just not at the moment, not quite there yet. I suggest that those photos won't come until later in the year, till after the Worlds, because the Worlds is a game of poker, and nobody wants to show their hand too early. So all the innovation in that car will be later in the year. Will be on display then, not too early. There's Will Venables. Will always nipping around the back of the A final, start of the B final. When's he going to get his go at the front? Come on, Will. So, that's it. Thanks for listening to my ramblings, and we will be back with more content over the weekend. Keep your eye on RacewayOne.com. Keep your eye on the YouTube channel. Just go on to YouTube, type in RacewayOne, everything's there. And talk to you later. Thanks for watching.